I've been reading about and studying about the life of Paul in Scripture, and this week I got to the point where he's imprisoned. And I don't know if you know the story, but there's basically a woman who's demon-possessed following him around, and in the ESV version, it says Paul was annoyed. So he turned around and cast the demon out of her, and the demon left and he went on his way. But this woman who was demon-possessed had owners who made a lot of money off of her. They got upset, and so they took Paul and Silas and put them in prison. And I really do have to catch my breath. And so they're in prison, and it says at midnight, they were praying and they were worshiping the Lord. They were praying and they were worshiping the Lord in circumstances that most of us would probably say are incredibly difficult. That's what they chose to do. And then the prison doors, there's an earthquake, the prison doors open up, the chains fall off, people are free. And then they even step into a place of darkness with the guard there who's about to end his life. And they show him the light of Jesus. And so I was reading that and I started thinking, like, we all of us, I usually say in a room this size when the room is full, but even in a room this size, we're all walking through things that most of us probably don't even know. And it might be little, or it might feel little, like maybe the enemy just didn't want you here to worship today, or maybe it's big life-altering things that you're walking through. But what I do know is that we get to worship because of who God is. We get to worship because he's good and he's in control. We don't get to worship because of our circumstances. It's because of who he is. And so he is who he is because he came to the cross and he lived a perfect, sinless life. He died on the cross, he was buried, he rose again 3 days later, and he proved that he's the Son of God. And that's who we get to worship. And so I just want us all to remember that that's the God that we serve, that no matter what your circumstances look like, we get the privilege to stand right here and worship that same God.